Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. This week, platinum jewellery is heading for a good year. First platinum bar products are launched in China, and a startup is breathing new life into local battery invention. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer unpacks the headlines. Welcome, Martin.
Hi, Sashni.
Now, the platinum jewellery market is seeing significant growth, and this is leading to a good year for the industry.
You know, Platinum Guild International, I think, really needs to take a bow. They've been working for many decades on promoting platinum jewellery, and they can turn the demand quite quickly, you know, with clever innovation and marketing, which is fantastic for platinum. You know, there's so many families in South Africa that depend on that platinum, and these people are out there creating that demand, and you can see the demand in China is still potentially very, very strong. And you know, the Platinum Guild International CEO Hugh Daniel, he actually was in town here and we were interviewing him, and he was very pleased with the performance of platinum demand at the moment for jewelry, saying that, you know, with the price being down, this is also a situation where you can get into the market with greater alacrity, and that is happening. And he's saying that they're in the major cities of China, and if they have to go into the tier 3 and tier 4 cities, they can really boost demand by another big target. It's already at about 2.4 million ounces totally. It's the second biggest demand sector after the auto sector, so it's a very important one, and very important in this downturn as well, where you can get maybe not value but you get volume, which is so important. And you can see that the main demand areas are the China, India, Japan and US. And Japan is a very mature market, you know, that's where a lot of this started, but even that is still growing marginally. And then the other areas of growth, I mean, India is really on a massive growth path at the moment. Hopefully they can do a lot more there. US is growing 10%, and you know, the potential in China always huge, and they can see gaps there to do things. Hopefully they'll be able to take those gaps.
Now, speaking of China, a collaboration between the World Platinum Investment Council and Chinese company Hengfu have launched the first platinum bars in China.
Yeah, so you know, you can see that when it comes to demand, the two areas where you can get demand going fastest are in the investment area, you know, with this the World Platinum Investment Council. You know, a dollar you spend there can take you a long way, and then second in that way is the jewelry. If you put dollars in there, you know, you can see the results. They know how to do it. So it's important that they are pushing this investment, because I think that's been quite neglected. And it's also important that they're doing it in China, because there you get the volume. And it's all about, again, physical platinum. You know, we need that demand for physical platinum. And the arrangement that they've got, I think, will be a starting point, but the projections are quite good. They're looking at a possibility over a period of a demand in the range of 300,000 ounces to 500,000 ounces. So they must see huge potential there in an area that hasn't really been exploited before in the way it should be. They, in collaboration with a Swiss minter, doing a very good job there. So it's a big international arrangement, and I think in picking China, they've probably again picked the right place to get the volume of demand for platinum bar, which hasn't really been pushed to a great extent.
Now, a Swiss startup is hoping to revive the Zebra battery, which was a South African invention in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in the 80s, I can remember, and the late 80s and 90s, there was a lot of talk around the Zebra battery. I mean, if you went to Anglo American and they presented, you would get input on how they were working with the Zebra battery. They were very keen on that. And we even had pictures in Engineering News and at that time of Harry Oppenheimer in a flashy car, and he was driving around Joburg, and they said, this is driven by a Zebra battery, and this is the joint venture we have, Anglo had, to promote this Zebra battery. Now that was really far thinking, because in those days, you know, you never thought about an electric vehicle. You know, you were still very much attuned to the petrol and the diesel, but they were looking long. And what they didn't really concentrate on, because we also had a lot of coal-fired power and fossil fuels with the thing, you didn't think of stationary electric power and then storing that electric power in a battery. Now the Swiss have latched onto this, and you know, this Swiss startup company, Battery Consult, they are delighted to have this South Africa invention, the Zebra battery. They are distressed that the name Zebra they can't use, and the Italians have got that at the moment, but they would love, you know, this whole Zebra to come home, because it seems as though it could do very well with our South African sunshine and some of our wind corridors, because it's combining with the renewable energy, where you can have the renewable energy pumping, and that's what they're thinking about in Europe, and then the gaps that are created when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, you've got this battery, and you've got like a source of power in your home. You know, this is what they're thinking about. These Zebras will be in your kitchen, and you know, they will be there, that when you need that power, the battery will be able to do it, and it's seemingly at quite low cost. You know, they're saying it like knocks the lithium-ion battery into a bit of a cocked hat. Everybody's talking lithium-ion, but if you see the context, they're looking at this sodium battery that uses table salt, with nickel, of course, as well, but is probably a better bet in producing batches of about 3,000 of these at a time. It looks like it could be competitive, and it'll be wonderful if this could really come into its own, because we were very enthusiastic about it. We used to write about it, and unfortunately it just sort of moved away from us. And then Anglo sort of allowed it to go into the CSIR, and then of course the patent expired, because these things don't go on forever. Other people started grabbing it, and we want the Zebra now to come home in this form, and probably have a power station in our kitchen with a battery that can hold on to that power until we need it.
Thanks for speaking with us, Mark.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on South Africa's mining industry.